Everyone, please rise for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Please be seated. Well, good morning. My name is Julie Ross, and I have the great honor to serve as the Paul and Dorothea Torgerson Dean of Engineering at Virginia Tech. On behalf of the faculty and staff of the college, I welcome you to today's commencement ceremony. Parents, family, friends, will you please join me in a round of applause for the new graduates? Congratulations, Hokies, you earned that. Not only are your family and friends really proud of you, but so are the faculty and staff of this college. We know how hard you've all worked to achieve this important milestone. We know you're leaving Cassell Coliseum today with one of the nation's most sought-after degrees, and that wonderful opportunities await you. When you walk across the stage today, you'll join an elite group of individuals. There are more than 82,000 alumni from the College of Engineering. In fact, you'll find Virginia Tech alumni across the country and throughout the world who will want to connect with you as a fellow Hokie. Every year at commencement, it's one of our traditions to honor a distinguished alumna from the College of Engineering. Since the inception of this award in 1987, we've honored 45 alumni, all with exemplary careers, who serve as leaders in the fields of business, government, education, and more. In addition, these individuals have devoted their time to their alma mater, and their lives exemplify the spirit of ut prosim, that I may serve. It is my great honor and pleasure to introduce the Virginia Tech Engineering 2025 Distinguished Alumni Award recipient, David Wilson, retired president of Toyota Racing Development. David, will you please stand and be recognized? With a 35-year career at TRD, David has seen Toyota evolve into a motorsports engineering powerhouse. He graduated from Virginia Tech with a bachelor's degree in mechanical engineering in 1984, and during his time at the university, he was an active member of the Virginia Tech Corps of Cadets, an experience he says instilled him with the values of discipline and teamwork. With David's guidance, Toyota achieved significant milestones in NASCAR, including multiple Cup Series championships and its first Daytona 500 victories. In November 2024, his contributions to the sport were recognized with the prestigious Bill France Award of Excellence, one of NASCAR's highest honors. David's commitment to fostering talent extends beyond the racetrack. He was instrumental in creating the Toyota Driver Development Program, nurturing the careers of numerous drivers and engineers who have since made significant contributions to the motorsports industry. Thank you, David, for your contributions to the engineering profession and for representing Virginia Tech Engineering with pride. Congratulations on this honor, and I now invite you to say a few words.
Dean Ross, thank you for this opportunity. It's a tremendous honor to be here back at Blacksburg to address and celebrate the graduating engineers of the class of 2025 and their amazing families. So, good morning, class of 2025. Congratulations on reaching this momentous day, and thank you for letting me share in the tremendous honor it is to be here with you. Never in my wildest imaginations could I have ever envisioned being back in Blacksburg for an occasion such as this. I shared my story with many of you earlier this year during Engineers Week. It started in the fall of 1979, posting up here at Virginia Tech, very unsure of myself, painfully introverted, and yes, scholastically challenged. Like many freshman engineers, I struggled mightily. My time was divided between my high school sweetheart attending Radford, the Virginia Tech Corps of Cadets, the top of the stairs, and yeah, that engineering thing I ostensibly came to school for. But fortunately, the romance ran out of gas, and I eventually got my stuff together. I had the great fortune to take some instruction under the late and legendary J.B. Jones, the mechanical engineering department head at the time. With Dr. Jones, he made something click for me. He made thermodynamics interesting and, dare I say, fun. I really enjoyed the collaborative teamwork projects because they showed me the power of collaboration and teamwork that would serve me later in life. But one of the things that I took from it more than anything else is, under sometimes a little bit of a grumpy exterior, I knew that Dr. Jones cared for me as a student and the other mechanical engineering students that he instructed. And I'll come back to that. For some reason, I held on to that classical thermodynamics textbook, and it sits today on my office in my home. On the cover, on the ragged cover, is a simple diagram of two cylinders and pistons. For me as a student, what I saw in that was the intake stroke and the compression stroke of an internal combustion racing engine. Now, I ask you, is it purely by chance that I spent 3.5 decades in motorsports? I think maybe not. Now, with the support of my family, the College of Engineering, the Corps of Cadets, I eventually graduated some 5-ish years later with a Bachelor of Science in Mechanical Engineering and a commission in the United States Army. I stand humbly before you today, some 40 years later, still a little unsure of myself, still introverted, but with so much gratitude and a full heart. My engineering degree served me so well and set me onto an incredible path, first in the U.S. Army and then in a career in motorsports. But honestly, today, I can barely recall the first law of thermodynamics. Albert Einstein said, education is what you remember after you've forgotten everything you've learned in school. For me, my education here at Virginia Tech was grounded in the values of service, leadership, teamwork, and humility. And these values, this education has served me for the past 40 years as it continues to do so today. Now, the next chapters in your life will undoubtedly at various points include uncertainty, doubt, disappointment, and yes, on occasion, failure. Now, I'm not saying you should love the tough times, but don't run from them either. Without fighting through hardship and adversity, you will never truly know what you are capable of. I know throughout my career, I came to know failure all too often, and on occasion, heartbreak. But I kept showing up. I kept getting off the proverbial mat. The reality is that none of us will always win in life, but we will never win without an ability to face loss or failure, without the courage just to keep moving forward. As John Wooden said, things turn out best for those who make the best of the way things turn out. Now, as future professionals, as engineers, you're already formulating what your measures, your metrics of success are going to look like, whether it's your title, compensation, advancement opportunities. That's to be expected. That's normal. The world is super competitive. In whatever path you take, performance will always be part of the expectations that are in front of you. I know throughout my career, I checked a lot of boxes. I ended up doing okay, somehow. I chased checkered flags and trophies for decades. I also missed birthday parties and anniversaries. I'm embarrassed to say I have yet to make a Virginia Tech reunion. Here's what I realized. Trophies rust. I spend more time dwelling on championships and races that I lost instead of the ones that I won. But I came to realize not early enough that there is another plane of achievement beyond winning, and certainly winning at all costs. How you treat others, your character, your compassion, your respect, that's winning. That's winning in life. And I truly hope each one of you will realize that truth much earlier than I did, because it will give you peace that will last well into your days. The ancient Greek philosopher Seneca said, "Let us prepare our minds as if we've come to the very end of life. Let us postpone nothing. Let us balance life's books each day. The one who puts the finishing touches on their life each day is never short of time." This quote embodies the Latin expression memento mori. It translates literally to, "We all must die." Now, memento mori is not meant to be depressing or morbid. It's meant to inspire and to remind you of what's most important in life. So, before you look at this beautiful university in your rearview mirrors, take a minute, be intentional, share your love, your gratitude with your family, your friends, the faculty that you spent this amazing time with. You'll never regret it, and those on the receiving end will really appreciate it. So finally, to quote another recent distinguished speaker here at Virginia Tech, Mr. James Hetfield, exit light, enter night, take my hand, you're off to Never Never Land. Let's go, class of 2025. Thank you. Thank you.
Well, thank you, David, for your words of wisdom and for joining us in welcoming our newest class of Hokie engineers. Next, I'd like to introduce Michael Harrigan, who is nominated by the Department of Computer Science as their 2025 Outstanding Senior and selected by the College of Engineering to represent this year's graduating class. Michael is graduating with 2 bachelor's degrees, one in computer science and another in cognitive and behavioral neuroscience. His undergraduate experience has included an impressive list of achievements, including founding Hokie Club Wrestling, completing an internship at a nonprofit that runs federal research centers, submitting 2 scholarly articles for publication, developing a technology startup idea, and he's waiting to hear about a patent application. So you've been a little busy. Michael's in the process of launching an automated text monitoring app designed to predict mental health crises before they occur. It also aims to optimize therapist-patient matching to speed up treatment. With the help of CS Root, the Computer Science Technology Incubator, Michael has demonstrated his commitment to serve his home institution while developing potentially life-saving technology. Following graduation, Mike will be working as an AI engineer with a focus on healthcare applications. Michael, we are so proud of all you've accomplished, and I'd invite you to say a few words to your classmates.
Thank you so much. I am absurdly grateful to be here for all the professors who pushed me, box systems, for all the professors who've taught me so much of value long and helped me close out my time here at Tech this month. So, all right, I know it's 8 a.m., so let's get this going. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go! Woo! Thank you, Hokies. I knew you could bring it at 8. We're all just kids with bigger backpacks. Did you know Virginia Tech is the 13th best undergraduate college of engineering in the country? Woo! That's you guys. 13 is elite. 13 affects change. Remember when you were a kid and you believed every grown-up had all the answers? You almost didn't believe that your parents were human? I mean, it's an obviously useful evolutionary tool. You can't stop to debate the nutritional facts of Tide Pods every time you reach for something and try to put it in your mouth. But as we grew older, the comforting gap of competence between your parents and you shrank. We're all just kids with bigger backpacks. Yet even today, I instinctively assume somebody somewhere understands how, say, a credit card swipe works. Let's suppose I swipe my credit card, it gets declined, not just because eggs cost $1, but some tech glitch. Surely there's an adult somewhere that I could go to who could explain the countless layers of financial institutions and computational abstraction that goes into making that swipe work, right? No. Nobody knows how many layers of society and tech that transaction goes through. When I was a kid, I would make Rube Goldberg machines by tying strings between the cabinets in my kitchen. I would incessantly ask why to the simplest explanations of the world that my parents could offer. I'm absurdly grateful that they did, because that has been what has put me in this room today. Today, we work with strings that span the globe. There are 750,000 miles of fiber optic cable that lie underneath our oceans. And we ask bigger questions. Those strings open doors that save lives. Those questions demand the use of supercomputer clusters and PCR machines. But it's all just doors and string and play. It's all just why. You see, play is the backbone of our society. It is the conduit through which improvements in the human condition flow. A while ago, on some tropical island off the coast of China, somebody was curious if they could carve weird grooves into silicon and have it do multiplication faster. A little later, some people at Google headquarters, which literally looks like a children's playground, thought it would be fun to think of words as arrows in some 700-dimensional space. And what feels like just yesterday, somebody connected those two doors with those 750,000 miles of string. They digitized Camus, textbooks, nerdy Twitter threads, and they piped them through those weird silicon plates at near light speed, and an alien superintelligence emerged, ChatGPT. Thanks, Scott Alexander, for the perspective there. OpenAI's kitchen is home to the most interesting contraption the world has ever seen, man-made at least. But OpenAI is just a bunch of kids playing with a bunch of string. As their CEO, Sam Altman, says, you can just do things. We're all just kids with bigger backpacks. You're surrounded right now by United States' number 13. If there were adults in this world, 13 would be one of them. Brett's senior design has something to do with plugging holes in nuclear power plants. Dan keeps a 3.99 GPA while building wells in Africa and constructing exoskeletons. But those same friends of mine are laughing right now because they know that they're just like me, kids playing with string. Brett has happened to maintain perfect attendance since September of 2022. For TOTS Tuesday, he has not missed a single one. Perfect attendance. Dan is a flight risk after 2 rails, and you might be wondering how the guy who dances sweat stains and tropical shirts got behind a podium. We're all just kids with bigger backpacks. So here's to play. Here's to not work days, but play dates. Because if we keep our childlike eyes, we will be able to see even tedious documentation written with a sense of wonder and reverence, knowing that it's part of an absurdly complicated Rube Goldberg machine, a beautiful house of cards that somehow, miraculously, stays standing and keeps saving lives. Remember, the grown-ups are not coming. They were never here to begin with. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. You know, commencement is really one of my favorite times of the year. Everywhere I look, I see smiling, happy faces, and I can feel the excitement and energy that fills this Coliseum this morning. On top of earning an engineering degree, graduates, you have juggled jobs, internships, co-ops, extracurricular activities, and life. Your persistence has been an impressive testament to your strength, resiliency, and dedication, all of which will serve you well in your next endeavors. But I hope you take a moment this morning to really savor this moment and experience the joy and celebration you've worked so hard for. Today is your day. And of course, remember a special thank you for all of those who have supported you and helped you get here. Graduates, let's give your family and friends a round of applause. As engineers and innovators, we pride ourselves on being problem solvers, on looking at the world around us and finding ways to make life better. And as Hokies, we look for opportunities to serve others and make lasting contributions to our local and global communities. I'm confident that the tenacity you've demonstrated during your time here at Virginia Tech has equipped you for just that, for a future of meaningful impact and innovation that shapes society. What you've learned here will continue to lead you through the successes and challenges of whatever comes next. You're stronger and wiser than you were when you arrived, and it's because you were determined to make the best of hard situations, to persevere when you failed, to solve what sometimes seemed like those unsolvable homework problems. It's because of your grit and determination. Each and every one of you is talented, intelligent, and strong. You have an education that will open doors to success. But at the end of the day, remember that the differentiators, the things that will help you stand out in an equally talented crowd, are very simple, and you've known them your whole life. Be kind, respect others, work together, and help each other. Never forget that attitude is a choice, and it matters. If you remember these simple things and apply them to your adult life, people will notice, and all of those technical things that you've learned in college will take you even farther. Graduates, be proud of all you've achieved, but in this complex and noisy world, don't forget the basics. We now come to the part of the ceremony you've patiently anticipated, the presentation of candidates. Out of respect for your fellow graduates and this time-honored tradition, we ask that everyone stay until the end of the ceremony. Faculty, staff, parents, relatives, and friends, it is my pleasure to present to you the candidates who have completed requirements for bachelor's degrees in the College of Engineering.
Dean Ross, faculty, staff, parents, relatives, friends, it is my pleasure to present to you the Bradley Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering candidates who have completed requirements for bachelor's degrees in electrical engineering.
Jacob Thomas Kawada. Maxwell Ryan Kawada. Nicholas Edward Eastman. Samuel Alanis Abernathy. Jabran Fareed Hanna. Shaori Liu. Alexander Joshua Anderson. Drew Thomas Sally. Vasily John Konstantinakos. Tyler James Baker. William Hunter Green. William Alexander Betts. William Ralph Graham III. Isham Brady Harris III. Jalen Alexander Bain. Dagmawi Theodros. Abel Daniel Tekla. Brendan Mitchell Bennett. Tyler Shane Doyle. Ruben Alexander Trevino. Abigail Patricia Dillard. Charlotte Claire Euling. Haley Strong. Raymond Way. Aditya Kumar Bangalore. Mitchell Reed Chapman. Chinmaya Ravi Selinamaki. Benjamin Lucas Pittelkow. Kadus Malaku. Ivan Biju, Robert Alexander Vaughn, Sanjeev Choksi, Liam Boyle, Jonathan Ravid, Samuel Isaac Phillips, Emerson Grant Rodriguez, Daniel Stephen Klump, David Deutschenovsky, Ellery Golden Smile, Cole Michael Bednar, Ruisha, Chihao Yang, Corwin Thomas Carpenter, Aaron Robert Clark, Sean McShane, Jackson Gregory Andrew, Shabir Hossein, Nicholas McMurphy Spicer, Jared Cole Houseman, Noah Jacob Wellentachik, Yandre Irwi, David Nicholas Encarnacion, Tanner Allen Beamer, Alexander Callahan, Samuel Myrick Craver, Brennan Thomas Sebastian, James David Livesay III, Daniel Thomas Reeves, Wyatt Vincent Dillon, Adam Garrett Thomas Hammond, Alan Trung Nguyen, Ryan Lee Pham, Stephen Zachary Rochia, Kenneth Alexander Torres, Tyler Matthew Wells, Adam L. Dillingham, Austin James Dempsey, Zachary Scott Rogers, Bao Kwok Win, Peter Vasile Kostescu, Thomas Young Liu, Christopher Cox, Andrew Richardson, David Antonio LeBlanc, Robert Craig Weaver, Shahad Saud Al-Faraj, Nathaniel Jean Carter,
Dean Ross, faculty, staff, parents, relatives, and friends, it is my pleasure to present to you the Bradley Department of Electrical and Computer Engineering candidates who have completed requirements for bachelor's degree in computer engineering.
Our first graduate is Jared Williams. This degree is being awarded posthumously. We recognize and mourn the untimely passing of Jared Williams, a student in computer engineering. Receiving this diploma for Jared's family is his father, Stephen Williams.
Ryan Joseph Klutz. Braden Jack Gardner. Connor Douglas Cadell. Nathan Lee Guevara. Bradley Ryan Fry. Mason Edward Young. Sneha Sudarshan Magadi. Andrew Viola. Brianna Sue Rodriguez. Marlene Shelley Gembus. Kiara Marie Clivar. Albert Kojo Esiao. Connor Scott Kromerick. Andrew Joseph Budzinski. Volkan Akale. Nicholas Luke Meyer. Wesley Alexander Flynn. Eric Martin Honecker. Jack Preston Bacon. Angeli Bao Wynn. Matthew Thomas Gallagher. Russell Stewart. Muhammad Arslan Athar. Matthew C. Chang. Jason Huang. Nathaniel Skirvin. Vijay K. Manava. Elena Rosa Anderson. Jose Marie de Guzman Roque. Nolan Thomas Attreed. Raymond James Drury. Ryan Christopher Recupero. Jacob Thomas Miller. Ryan Krigler. Alexander Robert Neps Alvarado. Preston Xavier Pitzer. Brian Lee. Chase William Smaker. John O'Tooney. Pranav Saji Sukumaran. Jack Connor Gurley. Theophilus Marcus. David Barrett Johnson. Samuel Cole Ramey. Dawson James Schreiber. Archit Singh Aditya Chavan. Rafael Josue Rodriguez. Isaiah Amir Paran Saklayan. Braden Green. Craig James Schechtel. Spencer Davis Woodson Forsling. Nicholas Philo. Theodore Brian Norledge. Nathan Talbot. Daniel Jacobson. Rahul Shanmugam. Esteban Samuel Rodriguez. Richard Diego Martinez. Trent Stephen Fox. Daniel Cole Thurmond. Blessjaw. Samuel Allen Macy. Matthew Covington. Joshua Dunn. Jacob Alexander Chateau. David Lee Arnold Jr. Thornton Brooks O'Hanlon. Punith Vangumala. Abhay Raghavan. Benjamin Joseph Scopa. Kylan Takashi Montgomery. Jacob Fast. Mahdi Mohammed Montasir. Duncan Anthony. Daniel Aspesi. Mark Anthony Magdi Barsoom. Paras Singh Hundal. Quinton James Augusta Clark. Robert James Mercer. Aditya Sunil Kulkarni, Timothy Rogan Fish, Preston Claude Aycock, David Ace Watson, Logan Allen Matthews, Zachary John Chu, Davis Cardiff, Alvin Chung, Jason De La Vega, Eric Lee, Mark Nguyen, Benjamin Min Lim Nguyen, Michael Volkman, Andrew Brian Murdaz, Shanur Verma, Justin Wynn, William Davis Brown, William Webster, Anirudh Chauhan, Soham Gandhi, Anthony Cesar Diaz, Justin Liang, Rakesh Pillai, Sanjeev Srinivas Rao, Junsong Kim, Lucas Hartman, Pengcheng Su, Guishan Liu, Howard Yu, Neil Jerome Baptiste II, Kwasi Jr. Bonsu, Samuel Rohan Miller, Saket Pendarkar, Tiernan Patrick Barber, Justin Michael Lamberty, Jacob Alexander Manor, Yongzhao Pan, Pei Fu, John Charles Shibby IV, Nathaniel David Sawitsky, Taifo Deng, Kofi Ofosu Tufor, Ralph Nemi, Joseph Jacobs Bekiranov, Ajani Nembard, Benjamin John Ajapong, Adam Christopher Bowman, Rami Amir Benhamida, Victoria Danielle Wagner, Ali Al-Nukali, Harun Adyaman, Narayan Rahul Bamadipati, Abhinav Vemuri, Patrick Warren Mountcastle, Bojidar Kanshev Dimov,
Dean Ross, faculty, staff, parents, relatives, and friends, it is my pleasure to present to you the Department of Computer Science candidates who have completed requirements for bachelor's degrees in computer science.
Michael Angelo Harrigan, Mohammad Abdulhadi Khan, Benjamin Scott Sullivan, Nicholas Trevelyan Forgione, Cameron Curran, Trevor Leo Ziffer, Tarun Geridar, Eric Keaton Reed, Saria Islam, Rohan Saini Batra, Nicholas Charles Flammer, Akash Dubey, Hamsini Madanapalli, Neil Akolwadi, William Mayo Ferguson, Jiming Lee, Elliot Sewung Yun, Jackson Bryce Giordano, Luke Anthony De Giovanna, Umer Mutaz Abbas, Mitchell Luis Heidbrink, William Adams Gaudian, Thomas Quentin Lee, Sherman D. John Miller, Patrick Cullen Gillis, Martha Patience Kensum Ta, Rufus Calvin Hinton IV, Caitlin Chu, Ryan Lou Trieu, Mary Caitlin Crumpacker, Kenneth Lau, Lillian Zhang, Jackson Charles Small, Thomas Michael Rosselli Jr., Gibbs Nicholas Gresgy, Nicholas Hess, Harrison Reed Bickerstaff, Samuel Franklin Fisher, John Michael Byman, Carly Rose Wolf, James Carlton Barber, Tan No, Naimur Rahman Ali, Omar Sabah, Stephen Ye, Kevin Loy, Biniam Argal, Tejas Kishore Shetty, Brian Matthew Aguilar, Quinn Andrew Anderson, Umar Tariq, Courtney Elizabeth Quinn, Colin Dunphy, Michael James Neal, Yiting Wan, Taifan, Liam Joseph May, Srikar Iragavarapu, Hyungjun Kim, Hyungju Ryu, Seong Hoi Kim, Sham Ganesh Mulapudi, Aditya Harsha Rao, William Carpenter Burris IV, Pranav Patel, Fat Min Kao, Aidan Lucas Carareto, Patrick Joseph Scuff, Atul Balaji, Lucas Graham Kazum, Shubhan Sridhar, Aubo Wang, Tien Min Ten, Chitao Young, Ryan Chiadmi, Eric Jace Schofield, Dear Prajapati, Max Stroh, Clarence Kwabena Opoku Brema, Lance Patrick Finnegan, Edison Huang, Wesley Lawrence Black, Travis Chan, Olivia Chan, Samita Redivalam, Isheka Garg, Patrick Raj Cross, Rudra Patel, Arush Rajesh Patil, Joshua James White, Anish Sunkarapalli, Ethan Doe, Joshua Jisung Lee, Serena Antun, Rodrigo Pardini Azolin, Joshua Edward Layer, Krish Bagesh Matre, Eric Carl Rippey, Sanjana Kanamuri, Raghav Pajur, Mary Ann Zeno, Bandara Mason Meth, Nana Yao Barima Oteng, Julian Miles Ofori Aqua, Isaiah Duhart, Sean Michael Henderson, Chase Kidder Dillard, Peter Truong, Jacob William Haft, Jacob McCann, Akash Sukumaran, Paul Young, Harsha Paladugu, Rakan Wa Elabu Awad, Pranav Rao Ponugoti, Connor David Brodish, Rajit Varma Pondetti, Michael Robert Hansen, Salvador Buenadicha Calvo, Aidan Patrick Flinton, Ethan Young Mauger, Caleb Ryan Linnick, Evan Brian Howe, Vihan Nilesh Umbre, Camden S. Johnson, Skylar Michael Rapp, Keenan Jerome Clement, Andrew Hill, Christopher James Barrero, Jr., Prabhath Jonavithula, Keenan Patrick Kupf, Vincent Y. Lynn, Kevin Lynn, Madeline McDonald Ayler, Chuya Chen, Jeffrey Jarui Yang, Daniel Jaga, William Stevenson Logan V, Samuel Spencer, Aaron Ye, Galen Avram Flanagan, Samantha Lynn Austin, Dominic M. Martin, Reginald Carnell Nolan III, Ian R. Zimmerman, Alan Roy Dial, Swanand Sandeep Sonawane, Cliff Francis Chatelain, William Daniel Glenn, T. Christopher Barron, Benjamin Clemens, Ty Michael Robertson, Joshua Stanley Davis, Kingsley Bao Ho, Lin Tran Thao Pham, Arnav Ashish Tike, Nirish Chilakala, Mohammad Mian, J. Trimboli, Matthew Lorenzo, Brayden Carroll Peacock, Tristan Patrick McMahon, Catherine Sandra Thrasher, Jennifer Josephine Chandran, Pranav Neil Pudari, Siri Bogavarapu, Keshav Goyal, Mitchell Whited Campbell, Valeriano Arellano Escamilla, Anish Tumeti, Aidan Price Walters, Layla Kang Meng, Xavier Aaron Kubensic, Vijay Vadi, Michael Kenneth Krickeldorf, Rami Essam Galeb, James Michael Meyer, Andrew William Dang Vin Huynh, Craig S. Huang, Trevor Jin White, Jonathan Shin, Matthew Topping, Tse Hern Sum, Dashiell Stephen Budd, Marcus Jetra Huynh, Jonathan Lee, Srinjoy Day, Ashton Smith, Jake Scott Horowitz, Trevor Yazinka, Michael Evan Kopczynski, Alexander Bishop Klee, Elizabeth McDaniel, Arav Tripathi, Sarthak Shrivastava, Alexis Jeanette Triple, Zoe Marie Height, Daniel Richard Heckman, Shivani Vadepali, Fardeen Hossein Khan, Retaraj Sharma, Kevin Chen, Yoonjae Lee, Maceo Cardinali Quick, Sriniketh Vangaru, Joshua Marcus Hester, Hamza Iqbal, Jake H. Sundstrom, Shrey Patel, Anichinta, Caitlin Nguyen Vu, Zandra Kieran McCoy, Brianna Janelle Detter, Cameron Alexander Mraz, Robert Kramer Whitehead, Justin Lee Reidenauer, Krish Ganotra, Nod M. Tofesa, Kirti Kiran Dahal, Vivash Oli, Samantha Jiang, Busundera Gutni, Tufik Nadar Saleh, Zachary Michael Barrett, Tristan Nelson Coates, Tammy Thi Tran, Zoe L. Kennick, Catherine Doan, Ali Quach, Guido Visioni, Troy Lamont Mitchell Fitzgerald, Thomas Lay Tren, Utsav Manundar, Michael Ratanak Son, Vaibhav Nepal, Yusuangwo, Minjin Kim, Darian Morak, Kushal Chetri, Andrew Joseph Thibodeau, Samer Omar Johar, Ethan Tyler Wong, Colby Karsten Stone, Anthony Michael Marasini, Zachary David Blocker, Wally Chima, Daniela Ifrak, Hamza Yasir Salim, Namita Shashidar, Suhani Mohapatra, Ji Won Kim, Cameron William Smith, Sahil Matre. Henry Daniel Harris. Benjamin Dean Chin. Nikunj Sanghi. Pratham Manish Chopra. Anav Srinivas. Colin Mennel. James Doe. Yvonne Pearl Chen. Connor Edwards. Ryan Anthony Erickson. Mustafa Zachary Akpinar. Gregory Thomas Weiner. Ella Claire Rasmussen. James David Rankin IV. Jordan Christopher Brandt. Thomas Martin Henry. Patrick C. Hardy. Sydney Marie Fredericks. Mason Taylor. Dominique Walden. Arthur Lee Kim. Ryan Silvasi. Ethan Daniel Werner. Quinn Azur Apostolico. Alex Kamen. Samuel Frank Klimek. Shamsia Ahmed. Amanda Seifu. Miguel Angel Lopez. Nitin Reddy Soma. Annika Busam. Ilse van Dial. Meiji Pham. Clara McDaniel. Brooke Autumn Ritter. Kalina Kazmierczak. Eugene Lim. Esther Kim. Napat Matt Juntima. Daniel Yang. Molly Mero. Annie Fauzia Zanakis. Connor James Marks. Cheyenne Sayar Inayati. Akshara Gandrakota. Jiole Jai. Jianbong Dai Jr. Samuel Arhin. Vrinda Valaboju. Shruti Vempuluru. Neha Bangari. Robert Christopher Vallone. Caleb Sebastian Kong. Taylor Christopher Mannion. Michael Salvatore Ferrante. Timothy Gerard Vedney. Evan Burgoyne. Antonio Balansategui. Abdul Mujib Adamola Omotoshio. Nikhil Saudas. Henry Owen Arze. Christina Maria Casey. Thomas Hayward McNamara. Bhavya Shanmugam. Hoi Min Lam. Sierra Cumby. Stuti Shah. Lauren Elizabeth Spellman. Jordan Atanasov. Aditya Singh. Giovanni Josue Vasconcelos. Ziad Elgata. Justine Villa Cortes. Junie Telyes Bautista. Andy Ann Nguyen. Leandro Cicido. Harley Sun. Ansh Patel. Torrin Conrath. Matthew Kenneth Stewart. Karan Reddy Candela. Kenneth Michael Johnson. Robert Nicholas Long. Atreyu Lowell Soren McLuhan, Chung Chan, Varsha Manikam, Jana Lorian Helve, Ryan Timothy Crocker, William M. William, Mushtaq Nabi Zada, Calogero Alexander Tuminello, Fernando Branco Moraes, Waven Ju, Nicholas Ethan Don, Michael Pang, Tausef Islam, Jeffrey Zhang, Alec David Breitenbach, Jala Sang, Timothy Francis Hannon, Maokun Zhang, Eric Harold Wheeling, Reagan Weissel, Joshua Sungho Lee, David Michael Geronimo Muniz, Alejandro Jorge Martinez Diaz, Ifan Suen, Austin Tyler Barnes, Elijah Stephen Tynes, Nithan Alaru, Aixa Atoa Ortiz, Pallavi John Chavan, Aiden Adams, Zifeng Lee, Matthew Seifel Dian TT, Vansh Parikh, Sarah Abbas, Peyton May Ludwig, Solomon Ibrahimi, Laith Masri, Nicholas Thomas Paraskevopoulos, Hritakesh Vavilala Reddy, Gabriel Edmonds Holder, Manasseh Meret Yerdau, Blake Charles Martorella, Anton Billanog, Jonas Wang, Jackson James Medina, Jiaoqing Zhao, Jingyuan Ho, Santiago Reyna, Casey Alexandra Schultz, Prakhar Pandey, Ayan Sheikh, Hamza Sethi, Nathan Chat Polarak, Danila Kabarov, Junsu Kim,
Danny Spatz.
Congratulations, Virginia Tech alumni. We truly hope you'll stay connected with us throughout your life journey. We can't wait to hear about all of your great successes and milestones. Know that Virginia Tech is proud of you, and we're proud to call you alumni. You will always be part of the Hokie family. This brings us to the close of our graduation ceremony. We ask our graduates to stay seated until the stage party exits. Thank you all, congratulations, and go Hokies!